Welcome to another Straight Up Tuesday tip. I'm 𝗤𝘃𝗃𝗀𝗁, licensed agent with Second City Real Estate. With me, as always, is 𝗲𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗁 with 𝗤𝘃𝗱 Realty, founder and owner. Mark, before we introduce our guests, what do you want our listeners to do to that subscribe button?
Smash that subscribe button.
We're gonna make that thing catch on, no matter what it takes.
We got to add it to the T-shirt.
Yeah, just a T-shirt that says "Smash" with like a Chicago logo. I like it. So with us today, though, returning guest. He's been on numerous Tuesday tips. He's also originally on episode 67, where we talked in depth about his owner-occupied construction loan. There's a much smoother alternative to the usual 203K loan. So if you haven't checked that out, please go back and listen to it. It's a great episode. I used it on my primary residence that I live in now. Just phenomenal product. Saves. You don't have to refinance. You don't have to redo the closing costs. You lock in your rate the day you buy it, which was huge in a rising interest environment like today. So can't say enough good things about it. But without further ado, Perry Farella, welcome back to another Tuesday tip. How are we doing?
Great. Thank you guys for having me back. I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah. So last time, we've talked, I just mentioned, you have a product for the owner-occupied loan, 1 to 4 units where you're looking to do construction, but you also have a fix and flip program that is not owner occupied for more your traditional, I'm going to buy a house, fix it up and sell it. So we're going to highlight one of your recent examples here. So talk us through, this just from the very beginning, when your client came to you, what were some of the numbers, the loan to cost? Because a lot of people haven't gone down this route and it's a little intimidating.
Sure. So I wanted to talk about a client who bought a single family house. He is not a professional rehabber at all. He has a full-time W-2 job in an unrelated field, but he wanted to start real estate investing and fixing and flipping in the Chicago area, in the city. So in October, he came to me with this idea that he found a house that was on an estate sale. No one had updated or changed anything in probably 60 years since it was first built. A typical brick raised ranch, 1,200 square foot, 1 bathroom house, 3 bedrooms upstairs, and living room, kitchen / dining area. And then the basement had once been finished, and it had a bathroom down there as well. And that bath, of course, needed to be rehabbed just like the upstairs bath. So the sale price on this estate sale house, and I'm a big fan of estate sales because they're functional houses, but yet they're outdated. And the sellers, the heirs, often want just to get their money out. They're not going to fix, they're not going to clean anything up. So you can often get them at a fairly good price. So he paid $216,000 for this 1,200 square foot brick house built around 1960. In the city limits, sort of like in the bungalow belt area. He had a 2-car frame garage that didn't really need any work. So what he did was he paid $216,000 and he added about another $68,000 for a basic kind of rehab. And this means no knocking down walls, no new floor plans, no adding more bathrooms than what was there, just making the house really nice, really contemporary. Redoing the floors, new kitchen, new bathroom upstairs, all new light fixtures, redoing the bathroom in the basement. And redoing, the finished basement as it was, tearing down the old paneling, putting up some drywall, new lighting, that kind of thing.
So right there, Perry, we're hard costs, not counting holding or permits or whatever. We're about $285-ish, somewhere in that vicinity.
Right.
Yep. So all right. So walk us through then. What does the financing side of the equation look like?
So financing side, he decided to put 20% down. He could have just put 15% down. These loans will allow a 15% minimum down payment. And so you take the purchase price plus the rehab dollars, as you pointed out. So he's into it for about $285,000. He put a 20% down payment in. So his loan was about $227,000. Then with property taxes and home insurance added into that loan, the mortgage payment became $1,680 per month. And that's really important because that's carrying costs. A lot of people that I see fail don't understand they have to maintain their carrying costs. So about 30 days after he closed at the end of October. So starting December 1st, he made his first mortgage payment that was $1,680. Then you can imagine that there was an electric bill the whole time. Let's say that was probably $50 a month. And then there was a water and sewer bill in the city. So I'm guessing that's probably $40 a month. So those three elements are his basically monthly carrying costs, which is about $19.70 a month. So think of that. So then across the time of the rehab, he started in November. Now we're in May of 2022. The house was completed in April. So as of May 1st, he's making his 7th mortgage payment. So keep that in mind, because that's some $11,760 for 7 mortgage payments. He'll probably sell the house shortly, close in June.
Real quick, Perry, and then on this type of loan, is it interest only or is it actually amortized and paying down principal as well?
These are 30-year fixed rate amortizing loans that you could keep for all 30 years. It is not a brand new build interest only loan at all. It's not like what you would get from any of the other fix and flip lenders or hard money lenders. So it's a 30-year fixed rate amortizing loan. His interest rate was 5.5%. It was 5.5% in October last year, 2021. And that's as an fix and flip single family investment property loan, 5.5% fixed for 30 years. Interest rates have gone up a little bit in 2022. Today, that same loan might be 6.5. But the point is that he has an option now. If he can't or doesn't want to sell the house, he can keep that same financing and just rent the house and probably make positive cash flow every month if he wanted to.
Let's even take this another route here. Like if you're looking to buy single families and rent them out, you just roll with this thing, right? You don't have to go back to the well and refinance.
That's correct. It's a 30-year term loan, so you can keep it for the whole 30 years, and this could be your lease and hold strategy as well.
Yep. And then so if they're doing a single family, non-owner occupied, and you're looking to flip, it's amortized, so it is paying down. It's gonna be a slightly higher payment than if you're doing interest only, but you do have that option on the back end where, okay, I could just hold this thing. So that's good. Good, bad, however you want to take a look at it. It's all relevant on your situation. It's 85% loan to cost. I know your client did 80, but there's an option to do an 85% loan to cost. And then I'm assuming this is not like hard money where it's, hey, we're going to close next week. We check the trade-off is checking the financing contingency box and expecting 30 days, 45 days. What's like a typical process here to get to the finish line for closing?
Yeah, to get the finish line, we need the contractor's write-up because we have to do an after renovated value appraisal. We don't care what he pays for the house. We care what it's going to be worth after it's renovated or the as-finished value. So all in all, that takes about 45 days from start to closing day.
Yep. Got it. So if you can be in a situation where you're either direct with them or you're having a competitive offer on the buy side, it makes that's the trade-off. You just have to, as long as you can get that 45 days, you can be very aggressive with the financing here. Because I can tell you, I have great establishments with a lot of these hard money lines. I'm not getting 6.5%. Like it's just, this is a completely different product here. Mark, anything to add there?
No, I just taken away from that is, the important part of this type of loan is having a good contractor that's going to be able to provide you information up front. And I imagine there's some format that Perry's going to require that you got to make sure that these guys are able to be professional about it. Some of these guys tried to go, not all contractors are sophisticated enough to put together some stuff that some of these lenders require. And I don't think you guys are requiring anything too specific or too detailed, but you got to make sure you have the right vendor here for the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Perry, anything else to add about this deal?
Yeah, mainly that I wanted to let you know that he's got the house listed for $375. He was into it for about $284. So he's going to make a modest profit. He's not going to make $100K profit. Maybe he'll only make, by the time he pays his closing costs, his realtor commission, the rest, maybe he'll make a $30K profit, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a modest profit like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no prepayment penalty with this loan either. And if he decided that it's not worth it to sell, he would rather lease and hold it, then that's fine. And if he wants to sell it and pay off that loan and then start all over with the next house, he can do that just fine too, with no prepayment penalties on these loans at all. So you have ultimate options. You can lease and hold, you can fix and flip. It's an ideal loan for a first-time flipper or just someone who does 2 or 3 or 4 houses a year. and has a regular job in addition to that. So, and that's where I think the market and the niche is for this product.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and let's just talk about returns here for a second, because his down payment was probably about at 20%, which was his choice, like 55K-ish, right? He was all in for 285. He put 20% of that down. So I'm probably off a little on the numbers. If you're gonna make 30K on 50K in 9 months, like 30K on 50K in 12 months is 60% return, right? So it's higher than that. And then I'm not accounting for taxes, right? You get taxed pretty hard on this, but at the end of the day, like that return is silly. And people don't. I guess I wouldn't scoff at 30K. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. Yes, there's a lot else that goes into it, but it's still good, man. Like you didn't have to put up 200K to make 30.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's financing not only the purchase of the property, but the renovation of the property in the same loan at the same interest rate, all in one closing. He'll never have to do a second closing. If he wishes to keep this house and lease it, he can. There's no reason to do any other mortgages on this house ever. So it gives people some flexibility that they otherwise would be trapped with, let's say, a hard money lender where they've got to get their money back in 12 months and the house has to be sold. It's just that simple. Here, he has flexibility, and it did take longer. It shouldn't have taken from November 1st to April to get that finished. He would have liked to have done it faster, but he had some delays, supply chain issues, and all that. But nonetheless, he got a great result, and he's getting a lot of interest in the house right now.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So we will post and link to all of Perry's information for all of our listeners who are interested in a similar type of product here, so you can get in touch with him. All right, Mark, Chicago fact here. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You gave me the warning up front that I should get this, so that actually makes it even harder for me. So, I know you did it on purpose.
I just like messing with you. All right, so our guest today, Perry, is actually an alum of Northern Illinois, so he's a Husky. As most of you know, NIU is out in DeKalb, but I'm not sure if most of you know this. This model and actress was actually born and raised in DeKalb, Illinois. Multiple choice.
I don't need multiple choice.
Who is it?
Cindy Crawford.
You got it. I told you you'd get it. Nice work, Mark.
Who are you going to say? Who is your multiple choice?
I just put in a bunch of random people. Brooke Shields, Kate Moss, and Jenny McCarthy. I thought Jenny McCarthy might trip you up because she's got the Chicago roots.
Well, yeah, she's from Oswego, I think. Aurora, Oswego, down that way, I think.
Yeah, so that was like my little twist to it. But nice work without multiple choice.
Sorry, Perry. I didn't give you the opportunity there.
No, that's okay. I wouldn't have got that one.
All right, guys. Check out our merch store, buy a t-shirt, and join our Chicago Fact Fun and win a prize. We have on our Thursday episodes, we will bring in a random person who's purchased off the merch store and give them an opportunity to, if I get the Chicago Fact right, they win $100 by our sponsor that week. So everyone, Perry, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much. Everyone else, we will see you next week.
Thanks all.